cutting lengths and matching the paper on the board for a chimney press or for a wall. Wallpaper, in this case we've got a set pattern. The pattern lines up straight across, so it's a set pattern. In this case, the repeat pattern is every one of those square circles. On the instructions it says a set pattern, repeat pattern, 13.3 centimetres. So get rid of decimal point. Every 133 millimetres is repeated. And that's what I'm going to cut some lengths on the board. I need 8 bits, so I'm going to cut some bits on the board. You've got to match the pattern onto the pasteboard, otherwise your paper won't be long. And if you can't just cut sheets of paper, like wood chip and lining paper, you can just measure and cut the lengths. I've got to take into account the pattern. So in this case, we've got a pattern what's repeated every 13 centimetres, 130 millimetres. Just going to show you that one. We've got another one there. Repeat pattern about every 300 millimetres, etc. One of the things you've got to take into account is picking a header, what you're going to put at the top of your clothing. So at the top of the pattern on there, what's prominent on that pattern would be the top of one of those, halfway through that, halfway through that. So what you've got to think about, you decide that's going to be top, that's where my top of my ceiling is, where my coving is, where my hand is. You need 50 millimetres above that. I'm going to do the pattern. So this one, I could put, actually that's my coving, on my ceiling. I could have a full pattern at the top, or I could have half a pattern at the top. You've got to decide what you think is best. I'm going to decide I'm going to have a full square at the top. If that's the case, I've got that extra. When you're cutting lengths, length of the wall or the ceiling, whatever, plus 50 on the top, 50 on the bottom for waste. So what I'm going to do there, that's my top. So I'm going to cut off the bit I don't need. So I'm going to measure. Just going to look on there. And I ball where 50 millimetres is. 50 millimetres, so it's literally nearly halfway through that circle. So I've shot that off. That's the thing most people forget. That's the top of my wall. Now when I put that piece of paper on, my coving is going to go there, where my thumb is. That's my top. That's a little bit to waste. So my height of my wall was 2 metres 140. So I need plus 100, so I'll make it 2 metres 240. So I'm going to cut my first length. So roll that down. I'm not using a pencil. So as I'm doing pencil marks on here, I'm going to damage my paper. So I'm going to use my finger and my thumb. I'm doing my ruler. 1 metre over 1,000 millimetres. Now in this case, that's my top of my wall. So if I measure from there down to 2 metres 140, I could then add 50 millimetres on the end. I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to go to the end there. There's my 50 millimetres. So I want 2 metres 140 plus 100 millimetres. So 2 metres 240 from the top. So 1 metre, finger and thumb. Pull that down. My finger there, my thumb there, at 1 metre. Pull that down. 2 metres, finger and thumb. 2 metres. That's my length of my wall. 2 metres 140 plus I wanted your waist, so it's 2 metres 240. So that makes it, I've got 50 on the top, 50 on the bottom. I'm then going to do a little snip. Fold them off across, get them 2 edges lined up. Quick crease. So I've got it nearly straight. It doesn't be spot on. Nice long cuts on there. If I don't do that, I can end up cutting it like that. And it could be short. So my first bit cut. Pull that back. First thing I'm going to do on the back of that, big T at the top. Before I forget, then I can't possibly hang one upside down. Cut my first piece, get rid of that, don't need it. Now if I wanted 8 bits, 6 bits, 10 bits, I've got my first bit as a template. All I have to do now is use that as a template to put on the other bits. Now, I'm going to line that up. So I've lined the pattern up on the board. Nobody doing that because my second one won't be long enough. So I've got to there. Now if you look at that, and you might think, oh, what's he messing about with? I've got a little bit longer. I'm going to get rid of that bit because we know that's already long enough. That's 50 millimetres bigger than what I need. That's now got to be nearly 80 millimetres bigger than what I need. So I'm pasting something I don't need. Get paste everywhere on something I don't need. So I'm going to chop that bit off. Now in some cases, look at this pattern's only a little bit to chop off. I might end up wasting a big piece. Nothing I can do about that. Just depending on how the pattern works out. Line them two edges up. If it slips, you're wasting your time. Because I'm cutting that piece either too long or too short. So, keep those edges lined up. Oh, look at that. Both edges lined up, finger and thumb. Undo that folder, fold. Keep the edges together, pull it down. If it slips, line it back up again. Roll it down. Roll it down. Yeah, snip the bottom bit where we want it. Line the edges up. Got a cut nice crease there what I can cut to. And it's only roughly cut reasonably straight. That's my 2 bits. I might need 6 bits. I might need 8 bits. Straight to the top. Again, before I forget, top on it. Cut as many bits as what you need. Matching the pattern up on the board.